Part 3, the mind of Christ, part 3, the attitude of Christ. I want us to today look into communication. How do you think Christ, when he was here, communicated with the environment? And as a Christian, as a believer, how do you think we should communicate with our environment? Either with immediate environment or cyberspace. How do we communicate? When you communicate with people in your immediate environment, when you communicate with people in your immediate environment, either your community, your office, in the school, in the church, or cyberspace, ask yourself this question. These fundamental questions. The communication I'm about to pass, this communication, this message I'm about to pass or send, does this communication satisfy the following steps? 1, is it true? Is this message I want to pass to somebody, is this message true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Is this message true? Is this message kind? Is it necessary? Is this message very simple, very easy to understand, very clear? This message I'm about to pass, this communication. Now, the 3 of these that I told you, is this true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Many have credited Socrates, the philosopher, that great philosopher who lived from 469 to 399 BC, with the importance of asking the first 3 of those questions I just asked you when you communicate. I personally added the 4th one. When you communicate with people, what you're about to say, either on the phone, that thing you have typed down in email, that thing you text, before you send it to somebody, before you hit send, before you send it, before you speak out, before you post it online, is it true? Is it kind? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it necessary? What is it going to benefit somebody? And then the last one I put this in. Is this very simple? Is it very easy to understand? Is it very clear? Although people were not able to conclude who actually wrote down those three points. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? But it was credited to Socrates. But the person who actually put this down or pen it down, you don't know. But these are points that we need to visit as Christians. We need to examine as Christians. Christians that have the mind of Christ. When we talk, when we send text to people, when you send email to somebody, when you post something online, when you call someone, the basis, the reason why you are sending that, the message you are passing, did you check it out that this message is true? Have you really looked into it that this is necessary for somebody? Is it kind? Is it kind? Is it going to lift somebody up? Is it going to motivate somebody to good things? Or is it going to destroy somebody's life? Is it going to destroy somebody's relationship? Is it going to destroy somebody's life, or somebody's moment when you are sending this message? The mind of Christ, part 3. Never send. Never send anything that you know is not true. Never send anything that you know is not kind. Never send anything that you know is not necessary. Never send anything that you know is not easy to understand, it's not clear, it's confusing. Never. It doesn't worth it. That's what we are discussing this morning under this part 3 of the mind of Christ. Am I talking to somebody today? There been so many confusion on this, I'm telling you, so many confusion. Some families have been wrecked because of false communication, something that is not true. Some relationship has been put in disarray because of what is not right, what is not true, because of tale bearing, saying things that are not true. Philippians 4 verse 8. Philippians 4 verse 8. Paul was writing to the people in Philippi, and he said, finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue or if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. So when you focus your mind on these points in Philippians 4:8, it will help you, because sometimes it is what in our mind that will speak out. When you write as if everyone is reading what you are writing. Write as if everyone, when you dance as if everybody is watching you. When you speak as if everybody is listening to you. You never know what you will do, where it will get to. You never know. You know, in the training in our office, because we are enforcement agents, they always tell us when you write a citation, write it right. Make sure you are not writing it during the time when you are emotional. Because that ticket you are writing can get to the high court. That thing you are just writing on the local level can go to federal level. You never know. Now, that message you are sending online, that text you are sending to somebody, that thing you are tweeting out, you never know the extent that it can go. Now, once you hit send, you cannot retrieve it. You cannot control what havoc that can do. You cannot control what the extent that thing can go. So, you've had it. You've seen people losing big positions, politicians wrecking their career. You've seen some family in disarray because of just tweeting. Somebody just tweet something. And then, everyone in the world, they are all jumping up, shouting. People have lost very great position. Because what they said, they did not pass it through. If it's true, if it's kind, if it's necessary, and if that thing they are sending out, if it's very easy, or if it's very, very clear, or without any doubt. In the children's story garden from 1920, this illustration, we read about the three sieves. We read about that. A little boy one day ran indoors from school and called out eagerly, "Oh, mother, what do you think of Tom Jones?" This is from children's book. "I have just heard that." And the mother said, "Wait a minute, my boy. Have you put what you have heard through the three sieves before you tell it to me?" The three sieves. So the boy asked, "Sieves, mother? What do you mean by sieves?" "Well, the first sieve is called truth." "Boy, what you're about to tell me, is it true?" "Well, I don't really know, but Bob Brown said that Shadi told him that Tom..." Hey, hold on. Mom said, that is very roundabout. What about the second sieve? Kindness. Is it kind? Now the third sieve, Mom, necessity. Will it go through that? Must you tell this tale? "No, mother, I did not repeat it." "Well, then, my boy, if it is not necessary, not kind, and perhaps not true, let the story die." No children's book. We are taught so many things in our kindergarten. You know that when we were in kindergarten, before you go to 5, we were taught so many things. that if we can only remember to apply those things when we grow up, I'm telling you, we will hit success. We will hit success. And I remember when we were in kindergarten, we used to say, early to bed, early to rise, make a man strong, healthy, and wise. We sing it, we read it in kindergarten. Early to bed, early to rise, make a man strong, healthy, and wise. Is it not true? Well, how easy it is to apply that? Now, this is a story from kindergarten, a story. So many things we are taught. There was a book, we were taught so many things. There was a book written by Robert Fulghum. He called the book, All I Really Need to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten. All I really need to know, I learned in kindergarten. It's been assumed or concluded that all those things we are taught in kindergarten, those little principles, if we apply that when we grow up, I'm telling you, I'm talking generally now, not even because we are Christians. I'm telling you, we will excel. So many heartache, so many headache we cause ourselves. We will avoid those things. We cause so many headaches because of the way we talk, the way we act, the way we do things. We never think deep. We are so emotional. We say things that are not true. We say things that are not kind. We say things that are not necessary. Things that are not really sure, clear. We cause confusion. You know, I told you there was a time when I was in Nigeria. When I was working. You know, my wife was an engineer with Xerox Corporation. So, you know, when you have a girl who is an engineer or a lady who is an engineer, you will see, I mean, what are you going to do? She has to work with boys, right? She has to work with men because the engineering profession is dominated by men. So, most of our colleagues are men. In fact, in our group, or in the old section where she works, or as a field engineer, she was the only lady engineer. What else do you want me to do? If I'm going to be thinking, oh, I saw my wife with a boy, I saw my wife with a man, I'm going to have heart attack. So one day I was in the office. A colleague just came to me. He said, ha, Mr. Adesoya. So what happened? I saw your wife today on Terminal Bridge. What happened? I saw her, she sat down in front of the car, your car. And one man was driving the car and two men were at the back of the car. She was so relaxed, they were just talking. I saw your wife. She told me that. Well, it's a very good news. But let me tell you the truth. Did it check it out? If it is true, you know what it was taken? You know what it was taken? But did it check it out? If that is true, is that kind? Do you want me to get back home and begin to box my wife? Is it necessary? Is it necessary to tell me that? Now, is this not very clear? Now, because these men, I know them very well. As soon as he told me, I know, because these men, sometimes when we are going to work together, I drive them. We go pick them in their houses. They are my wife's colleagues. Sometimes my wife will take them to their homes before coming back home. They work together. They don't have vehicle. We got. So we have to help them. These men, you know, Nigerian men, they are so good that in Nigeria there is no this insurance. You are the one insured, you can't drive the car. Nigerian men, they don't want you to, they pamper women. So even if it's your car and they are around, they want to drive for you. They don't want you to be driving without this, the traffic in Lagos, with all the traffic. They want to drive for you, so they say, Madam, can I drive? What is wrong in driving for a man to be driving my wife's car? What is wrong for my wife to have a passenger? But now, the problem is, he's trying to love me, right? He's trying to tell me story. He's trying to tell me to watch out for my wife. But my wife, I know my wife very well. I can't have headache because some men are around my wife. So I want to talk to you men. You can watch, and women, you cannot watch your wife, you cannot watch your husbands. As long as the Christ that is in them, you trust Christ that is in them. you are not trusting them per se, but you are trusting Christ that is in them. And you know that since Christ is there, who can see everywhere, everything is going to be all right. Amen. Let me tell you that story. So my wife, I came here first to the United States. About less than a year before she joined me. I'm trying to be very down to earth with you. Because so many things have happened and many lives have been wrecked. Some people have committed suicide because of the rumor people carry. They never shared. The 3 C's this woman was telling her son. Is this story true? Is this very kind? Even the Bible says we should correct in love. Correct somebody in love. Is this necessary? These 3 things, these 3 C's. And the fourth one I had to it. Is it very simple? Is it very easy to understand? Is it very clear? You know, in the Yoruba adage, they used to say Yoruba adage. I will say it a little bit in Yoruba, then I can interpret it in English. It's going to be like Yoruba English anyway. They say, pata pata la foju, kubo kubo la dete. Oju afọ ọ̀fọ̀tán, ó máa ń dájà sílẹ̀ ni. That is, if you want to be blind, you blind totally. So you don't go for confusion. You don't say I saw black when it is red. If you want to be a leper, you be totally let that leprosy cut everything out. But I saw 2 fingers. I thought it could cause confusion. Anything you know, if you are even communicating something, be very clear. There are some ministers, they cause problem in homes because they were not clear in telling people. Pastors, I'm talking to you also, and the ministers here. You want to give somebody counseling? You know, some people have done some terrible reconciliation, some terrible restitution. They say, I'm born again. I'm born again. What I have done in the past. God said I should do a restitution. A prophet told me I should do a restitution. And you go to a man and you tell the man that your wife, that boy, that girl, when it's true that you are married, but I was the one who impregnated her. I just come to do what? Restitution. I know some people have done some very terrible restitution in the name of Christ. In the name of Christ. Very terrible restitution. Very terrible restitution. You see, you ask yourself, this step I want to take, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? What are the necessities? What is it necessary? Okay, that man is gone. The man is now married, right? Why are the old stories? If any man be in Christ, is a new creation. All things have passed away. Everything is now new. Let it pass away. It is new. Amen. Amen. It is new. Come on. It is new. So I came here first, so I don't forget the story. I think I still remember, so I want to go back to that story. So somebody was chasing my wife around in Lagos. She was telling me the story. You know, women, they are never old. They chase them any age. Look at the mama here. People are still chasing her. Mama, people are still chasing mama. But that's my mother-in-law. In case you are listening to me. But mama has given her life to Christ. Mama is not going to share nobody. So there's no age. They will not chase women. There's no age. Yeah. My wife is married. They will chase your wife. Hello. And some women will do what? Chase your husband. Most especially women. So they were chasing her, and then one man was chasing her, and then he told the man. She told the man, I'm married. The man said, you are married. Where is your husband? He said, my husband is in the US. You look at you. Do you know what he is doing in the US? Do you know what he is doing there? You better listen to me. Let's have a nice time. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Now, you want to ask yourself, that step you want to take, that information you are giving, that communication, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Are you very, very clear? There is no doubt in this thing you are doing. Because once you say it, once you send it, once you communicate it out into the public, it's hard to go and retrieve it or correct it or say, oh, I'm very sorry what I've just done, what I've just said. I'm very, very sorry, it's not true. I was just emotional. The mind of Christ. When you have the mind of Christ, you think like Christ will think. It's not everything you say. It's not every time you say. There are things that you don't have to say them now. You say them later. There are things that you just have to keep quiet. You don't say anything. Let it go. Because you always have to pass it through the 3 C's. If it is necessary to say it. If this is going to be kind to the organization or to the family. If this is going to be true, if it's not going to wreck the family. As a Christian, as believers, we need to watch out what we say. We need to watch out what you do. You need to have the mind of Christ when you relate with people. Let me give you some little statistics. It will possibly help us to see what we are talking about. Do you know that right now in cyberspace, the way people are communicating is at alarming range. Every 24 hours, 205 billion emails are sent across cyberspace, across internet. Every 60 seconds, 510 comments are posted on Facebook. We are talking about 734,000 posts per day. People are busy with Facebook. And every second, almost 6,000 tweets are tweeted across the internet for entire Twitterverse to see. Totally 350 tweets per minute. My Twitter account, sometimes I'm just tired of opening it. They'll be sending me email, Emmanuel, so person don't just tweet. Did you read it? They will send me email, Emmanuel, do you remember the governor of just tweet? Just tweet. It's busy. The cyberspace is so busy. Now, these statistics does not include those going out through YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google+, Tumblr, Instagram, and the countless of other platforms being created every year. Every moment they're creating these things. People are busy. Do you know there are some people, there are some organizations. If you have 50 friends there, every day they're going to send, the 50 of them will send you the same prayer point. Prayer line for the day, morning devotion for the day, heaven come down, open heaven, open heart. 50! 100 of them will send it to your to your email. Some will send it to your email, some will send it to your WhatsApp, everywhere these things are going. Now let me tell us please, children and those of us, never you allow anybody to take your naked picture. Excuse me? Yeah. You are a Christian, you are born again. Even if your wife loves you, even if your husband loves you, he or she shouldn't be taking your nude pictures. Because you never know where that will get to. Especially in a country, if you are listening to me on the internet, I'm talking to you. If you are in a country where they repair cell phone, they repair phone all the time. Once you take your phone to a repairer, everything in your phone can be downloaded. Hello? I've seen some men. One man was just talking, he was so proud, he was telling everybody. Once the phone is ringing, and the wife is the one ringing, the man will just disappear somewhere. So one day they asked me, why are you doing there? He said that, see, when my wife rings, when my wife calls, and no picture will come out for me to know my wife is calling. And this is a Christian. There are some stupid things people do. Excuse my language. Don't get involved in it. Because once you release yourself from that, it could go to anywhere. It could go to any net. It could go to any net. In those days when they used to take pictures, you know, remember those days when you take pictures, then you take it to this Kodak. You take the picture, you see the film, you take the film for them to go and develop it. They go to black room, they lock themselves in the black room, they develop all those things. Some people have taken with their camera, taking some pictures. As soon as they go there and they develop this in the what do you call it? In the black room, and some people they kept copy of the pictures. After a long time, they begin to harass them. I got your picture here. I'm going to send it to your husband. Send me money. I got your picture here. I'm going to send it to your wife. You'll be wondering, why did you get my picture? How many years? Maybe you have not heard what is going on. Let us have the mind of Christ. Let us treat people like Christ will treat people. I want to conclude. We'll continue. This will have been another separate series, but I just thought let me put this into the mind of Christ. That as we are Christians, as we are born again, let us have it at the back of our mind that when we talk or speak as if everybody is listening to you, as if Christ is even, God is watching you talk. When you are dancing, dance. You know, when one year we were having a couples night. We were having couples night in the banquet hall, and then we had couples to have competition, like couples dance competition. So we selected some couples, so they danced. We are all watching them. The way they were dancing. The way these couples were dancing, because it's competition, was different from when everybody was just dancing. When everybody was dancing, just that some will be doing like this, they will be talking to their wives. But when it was competition, hey, come and see some women. They will roll it like this, they will roll it, because they want to be the first one. They want to pass. Can you imagine when you are talking as if the president of the United States is listening to you, or God the Almighty is listening to you? Do you know you'll be very careful when you pick your word? If you are talking to your boss in office, different from when you are talking to just there are some languages you can use at home, you cannot use in the office. There are some languages, but when you are talking to somebody very important, the way you carry yourself. So, when we dance, either we are communicating that dancing, dance as if everybody is watching you. When you speak as if everybody is listening to you. When you write as if everybody is going to read what you are writing. Especially when you are sending emails. Either you are in your office. Don't be emotional when you are sending emails. When somebody sends something to you and you are emotional, you are annoyed, don't write at that time. What did I say? Don't write. Cool down. First day, maybe. Second day, then when you overcome all the effect, the resultant effect of that message, now go back and type. You will see that what you will type at that time will be different from when you first get it. Who is this person that listen to me? I'm going to give it back. I'm going to give it back. And you are typing. You, if I see you again, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do this to you. And you send it back. Even some people are using their office emails to send some very terrible, annoying. Do you know some employers now? Some employers, as soon as they see your name, you apply for a job. As soon as they see your name, they put it on Google. They want to see if you are on Facebook, if you are on Twitter, they begin to look at how you communicate. Because your communication will show your mind. They begin to look at who are your friends on the Facebook. What do you post on the Facebook? They begin to look at those things. Some students got admitted into one of those Ivy schools. I think it was Harvard. And then they got admitted. It was the time they were doing maybe orientation or something like that. And they begin to send some very bad things on the Facebook. Some very terrible things on the Facebook. Do you know that they canceled their admissions? They've been giving these students, they said they've been giving scholarship, everything. It was just the time they went for orientation and this, and they were communicating on the Facebook as if they've never been taught the way to react. You know, people they want to have people around them that will be able to excel in the community. Every organization want to have people that will be able to represent them right. And if you don't know how to handle these things, I'm telling you, you cannot represent your family right. Let alone to say you represent your organization right, or to say you will represent Christ right, or you will represent your community right, or you will represent your country right. You will not be able to do that. In a situation where account is being given, where people have to give account for what they have done, or they have to evaluate them based on their activities, so many people could not survive because of the way they communicate. So when you communicate, ask yourself this question: if it is true, if it is kind, if it is necessary, if what I'm communicating is very easy and clear, there's no doubt. It's not that, oh, I remember John Doe that told me, John Doe just lied to me. But the havoc has been made already. Now, you are the one to take the responsibility. And that was what that woman was teaching a boy in that kindergarten book or the story book for children. You cannot say it was John Doe. You are the one. You are the one. When you are told that thing, did you check it out if it is true? Did you check it out if it's kind? Did you check it out if it is necessary to say it? Did you check it out if it's only truth and nothing but the truth? Let's see one simple story before we go. Jesus Christ met a woman at the. There are two of the stories, but let me just pick one of them to back up what I've just said. Let's pick the story of a woman that was caught in adultery, and they brought her to Jesus. We're going to say this and we're praying. Amen? Yes. But let me first ask you, are we saying something today? Yes. Are we learning something today? Yes. Now this one that I'm telling you is applicable for you in your office. You can apply this in your business. If you want to hire somebody to work with you, be very careful. You don't want somebody that will give you unnecessary heartache or headache. You want to choose your friends. Be very, very careful. And as family, devil does not like you to have a family. Devil want to wreck your family. All the tale bearers, people going around telling false stories, don't let that story be what you are going to do in the yardstick to take decision on your husband or your wife. No. Don't let somebody outside come to define your family or give you the definition of your family. Before they come and tell you what your family is, you yourself know your family. So that know your wife, know your husband. When they are coming to tell you all these stories that can break you out, that can put you asunder, you now know what to, you may not talk, you may not say anything. But right in your heart, you know the person you are relating with. Right in your heart, you know your goal, you know where you are going. Right in your heart, you know what you are going to do. Praise the Lord. So let's see John chapter 8, please. John chapter 8. John chapter 8 from verse 1. Now, in the morning, he came again into the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. Then the scribes and Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery in the very heart." They will cut her. Now, Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what do you say? Imagine this they said him that they might have something of which to accuse him. But look at the way Jesus answered them. Look at it. And that's the mind of Christ. That's what God wants us to do. But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger as though he did not hear. There are people who will tell you, bring to you or anything, that you pretend as if you are not even listening, you are not even hearing them. When you go to a marketplace, you don't listen to the noise of the market. You have to you have to focus on the mission. You have to focus on the goal. Don't focus on what people are saying. Focus on what you plan for your family. Focus on what you plan for yourself. Not on what he said, she said, all these tales people are sending around. So Jesus did not say anything. He was just writing. Verse 7. So when they continue asking him, are you not listening to us? After all, you are Jesus. Don't you hear us? He raised up and said to them, "He who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first." What did he do again? And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. Then those who had it, being convicted by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the oldest even to the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had raised himself up and saw no one but the woman, he said to her, "Woman, where are those accusers of yours? Has no one condemned you?" She said, "No one, Lord." And Jesus said to her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." These people did not check out if what they are saying is true. If it is true, where is the man? Can a woman commit adultery alone? Where is the man? Is it time to this woman? Should you have to judge only this woman? If it takes two people to do it, should you have to judge only one person? Is it necessary? After all, if the man ran away, then is this necessary? But Jesus did not argue with them on that. He was just writing on the floor. And just one word. If you have not done this, any of you, cast the first stone. You see, not everything somebody is telling you answer. There will be time to answer. Sometimes you keep quiet until it is time for you to answer. And when you are done to answer, you ask yourself, is this story I was told, is it true? This issue, is it kind for me to say this out? What I'm going to say, will it elevate somebody? Will it encourage somebody? Or put somebody down? Now, even if I said it, is it necessary? Is this necessary? What is going to be the outcome? Is it necessary? Sometimes some people, they will bring a story of 20 years ago. Like that is a story that is dead. Is it necessary to bring this up now? Is it necessary? You ask yourself. Do you have the truth? The whole truth? You know, in the law court, I'm going to conclude now so you can pray. In the law court, when you have to come and witness, the judge will watch you. First and foremost, you raise your hand, you say, what all this I'm going to say is going to be the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. Then they will be listening to your testimony. Once the jury or the judge, I've been one of the juries before. I'm telling you what. Once they know you have lied, you lie in any of your statements. It's better to say I cannot remember, I cannot recall, I cannot recall. You can say I cannot recall as many times as possible. But once you say something, you recall something that is lie. Do you know what the judge is going to look at you? The judge will look at you as if you have lied 2 times. Because the first time you told us what they're going to tell us will be the truth, but nothing but the truth. So help you God. Now this one you are telling us is not true. Nothing else we tell them they will believe is true. Case closed. You are not credible enough to give them. Everything else you are going to say is not true. Once they know you lie in the law court, you are gone. If they can do that in the law court, how much more when it has to do with us Christians dealing with believers, dealing with, we are the light of the world, dealing with Christ. So don't forget those things. When people come to you with story, or you want to send something out to somebody, be careful. Ask yourself, is this true? Before you send it out. Is this kind? Is it going to help somebody, or is it going to destroy somebody's life? What do you gain if you destroy somebody's life? Those of you working in the office, you work out, you lie against somebody, you say something that is not true, something that is not kind, something that is not necessary, and they fire that person. Are they going to double your salary? Excuse me? Are they going to take the salary of that person and add it to your own? And the boss will come to you and say, you have done a great job. You just easily help us to fire this guy. So you're going to be now, from the next paycheck, we're going to give you. No! So what is the necessity in that? Is it necessary? Or you walk out to kill somebody, say, I'm going to kill you. And you kill that person. How many times can you kill one person? And once you kill that person, then what else? So, the Lord will bless us in Jesus' name. Amen. Let us have the mind of Christ. And as we do that, Christ knows our weaknesses. He will strengthen us where it is necessary. Father, we thank you, bless you, we worship you because we are in God. Help us, oh God, to understand what you are telling us. And help us to apply this into our life. All that we have been taught. Father, help us when the time will come to apply this into our life. Blessed be your name, oh God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.